Miami Select family, we miss you all and can't wait to get back onto the court. It is our belief that although we're stuck at home, we can still get better. In this video here, we're going to look at how you can improve your jump technique at home. These drills will be centered around technique and not conditioning, so please be sure to follow your conditioning plan. Jumping higher is about speed, power, and technique. Conditioning will help with speed and power. This video will help you with your technique. The two specific keys we're going to look at in this video are the penultimate step and the block step. These are the two last steps of your approach. These two steps are responsible for creating most of the energy when it comes to jumping high. We're going to take a look at some live footage so we can see these two steps in action. Penultimate means second to last. So on this second to last step, this hitter is going to push off aggressively into that penultimate step. Common pitfall in this is players don't take this step aggressively enough, or they tend to slow down into this step. This is when we need to really speed up and accelerate the jump. Another common mistake here is players start to bring their arms up before they bring them back on this step. As you can see, this hitter here, as she pushes off, her arms swing back straight. One other mistake is some players tend to bring their arms bent, right? We want to make sure those arms are straight, right? This is going to aid us in jumping higher when we throw them up. Big push, big jump. Coach Freddie has a great penultimate step. We take a look here. His first steps are going to be small and controlled, and then there's this big push, big aggressive push into the penultimate step. As you can see again, his arms go way back straight as he takes this step. His arms are down, takes that step, big reach back with a big push into that penultimate step. Even when we jump serve, we want to utilize this penultimate step to jump higher. You can see Freddie on that second to last step. Right here, there's a big push. Arms go way back. If he were to decelerate right now, this step would be a lot smaller and his arms won't go so far back. But you can see he's pushing off aggressively into the last two steps. Big push, big jump. Big push, big jump. The next step we're going to talk about is the block step. This is the last step of the approach. We call this the block step so that way it blocks you from going forward and gets you to generate energy going up. In volleyball, we want to jump up when we spike, not out, unless the ball is really far away from us. The more likely the ball is in front of us when we go up, more likely the ball is going to be under us or in front of us when we jump out. So we want to use that block step to help us jump vertically. So you can see here we get a big push, big penultimate step, arms are going back, then we have the block step right here. This foot is at a slight angle to help him go up. If this foot were pointing forward, he'd be jumping forwards under the ball or in front of the ball, or maybe even into the net. But since he angles his front foot, he's able to generate force going up. This is when speed, power, and technique all come together. Another thing with the block step is it opens me up to the ball. You can see the hitter here is facing towards the setter or the ball. And then as he swings, he rotates. So by using that block step, it puts him in a position where he can open up and rotate into the attack. So not only is he using shoulder, he's also using his core and the rest of his body. Here's a lefty approach. Same concept. We get a push, and then we have the block step. This is a little bit of an extreme angle, but it allows her to open up to the ball. You can see her back here, and then as she jumps, she gets that rotational movement into the hit. So not only will this block step, when done properly, help you jump higher, it'll help you jump and hit harder. Same thing. We get the push. You can see here her arms aren't straight, so if she wanted to jump higher, one thing we would tell her is, hey, keep those arms straight. And then block step. That block step's a little bit too far away, so we'd want it to be a little bit closer. So although this hitter is jumping high, she can jump higher if she did the proper technique. She's got the speed and the power. Now let's improve the technique. Same thing here. Now this looks like it's a weak penultimate step, but the reason this penultimate step is not as big and aggressive is because of the set. We can see this set right here. The ball is about maybe 7 to 8 feet, maybe 6 to 8 feet off the net. Because it is so far off the net, it doesn't allow the hitter to take this big penultimate step. Had this set been 3 to 5 feet where we want it to be, this hitter's penultimate step would have been much bigger. And since she has to slow down, you can see her arms don't go back as far. So setters, we want to locate this ball in the correct spot so that our hitters are able to maximize their jump. If we set it too far off the net, they're not going to be able to maximize their jump. Hitters, what you want to learn from this is that if the set is off, you're going to have to adjust your penultimate step to the ball. Had she taken a regular penultimate step, she would have been underneath the ball, and she probably would have hit this out. But since she adjusts with this step, she's able to still generate force and keep the ball in front of her. That is a 12-year-old volleyball player right there. So, here are the drills that you want to do at home. Again, these drills are not meant for conditioning, they are meant for technique. So take it slow, make sure you are doing them correctly. You really want to feel the movement out. So the first exercise is penultimate jabs. You're going to start off on your left foot and you're going to push off into your penultimate step and hold. This is going to help you with your balance. You want to do 3 sets of 12 on each leg. Push, hold. Notice how as I push, I'm making sure my arms are back. Take your time, make sure you've got the movement and timing correct. As I strike the floor, my arms should be back. The next drill we want to do is block jabs. So we're going to do this on each side. We're going to do 3 sets of 12 reps each leg. Again, the focus is not conditioning, it is on technique and timing. As we progress through this drill, once we get halfway through, we want to add jumping into the exercise. One thing we can do here with this jab is make sure we're starting with our arms back. We're on the penultimate step, so we're practicing the block step. Once we swing our arms through, when my foot strikes the floor, that's when my arm should be down here in front of me. You can see I'm struggling with my timing here because my arms are already going up before my foot strikes the floor. As my foot strikes the floor, my arm should be striking down. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So as we're striking down, we want our arms going down, and as we lift up, we want the arms to also lift up off the ground. Remember, that block step needs to be at an angle. So remember, when you jab this, make sure it is at an angle. You can see my timing again is a little off. I'm starting on my penultimate step, arms are back straight. As I strike the floor, right there, my arms are already going up, so I'm a little off timing. And I already jump high, so if I learn this technique right, I'm definitely going to add inches to my vert. And so can you. The next exercise is three-step approach jumps. We're going to do 3 sets of 10. We're going to do left, right, and right, left, right. So righties and lefties, practice both sides. This is a progression here, so we are progressing from the 2 steps, from the penultimate jab to the block jab to adding more to the approach. So don't lose focus of the penultimate step and the block step. That is the main focus once we start progressing through the drills. So although we're adding more steps, our focus is on the last 2 steps. As you can see here, I'm slow with that first step, and then I'm trying to be really aggressive, and I want to really make sure that my arms are back on this step and that they are going down. I actually do it better when I go opposite my normal jumping stance. As I strike down, my arms are striking down, and as I go up, my arms are going up. The next drill we can do, again, we're just progressing through. We want to add our transition steps as if you were off the net. So I'm going to transition as if I was going off the net. Then I'm going to take the approach with the emphasis on those last 2 steps. Push, punch. Same thing for lefties. Push, block. After we do transition from the net, we want to shuffle to approach. Again, the focus is not the transition or the first steps, it's on the last 2. Push, punch. Lefties, same thing. Use the first drills to work on the technique, and use the later drills to implement that technique into the full approach. So here I push, arms are back, I block with an angled foot, and I'm going up. I encourage you to record yourself so you can see the timing of your movements. Make sure that your arms are going back straight on this step, and make sure they are striking down as I strike down and going up as I go up. You can see I'm a little off timing here, right? I'm still striking down while my arms are going up. My arms should be going up now in that moment. That's all I have for you for today. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, comment, and if you want more information or more videos, please feel free to reach out to us.